Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Plates of Love from Texas. Happy New Year! Happy 2021. I hope all of y'all had a fantastic New Year. Don't forget to follow along because this year is going to be jam-packed with some recipes. Instagram's gonna be full of some fun reels. Ugh, I can't wait. Can't wait for y'all to come along. But today, gotta knock out today first. We're gonna be making pork carnitas. Some think pork carnitas are just Mexican shredded pork. It is not. It is not. It's big, nice, juicy cuts of pork that are like cooked in the oven and braised and delicious, and top it off, they're kind of going to be broiled to be a little crispy. So good. I hope you're hungry because I am. So let's go ahead and get this hair up and get to cooking. All right, y'all, so you're gonna need a good amount of ingredients, really a few things, and mainly some spices. So it's gonna start off, of course, with some pork. So this is about 4 pounds of boneless pork butt. They are kind of roughly cubed up, as you can see there. You're gonna have an onion. This is about 3/4 of a large onion, and then we're gonna just kind of break it up. You're gonna need an orange, a medium to large orange. You're gonna need the juice, and then also the kind of outer part of the orange, and then your spices. You're going to need some lime juice, a few bay leaves, some comino, salt, pepper, and oregano. I'll have the exact ingredients, of course, in the description, but let's go ahead and start this process. All right, y'all, so what you're going to need is a really good cast iron Dutch oven. It is going to go in the oven, so you need something that is at least oven safe. It's only going to be in at about 300. But I love my Dutch oven that is cast iron. It's nice, heavy bottom pan. So we're gonna go ahead, literally everything, all the ingredients are just gonna be plopped in here. But you are gonna want to kind of give your meat a sear. So we're just gonna add a little bit of oil down to the bottom of the pan. And we're gonna go ahead and put all of our pork in there. Alright, so as you know, I kind of preheated the pan already, so we can get that nice sizzle and sear. So we're going to go ahead and start putting everything in. So we're going to put our comino. We're going to put our oregano. We're going to give this a quick stir. The thing about pork butt is it's gonna have to braise so it can get nice and tender. So we want these nice bits of like fat and things to sear so it can get that nice sear on there. We're gonna just kind of break up the pieces of an onion. Put our bay leaf, our salt, our pepper. Gonna give it one good stir again. Then we're gonna go ahead and add our citrus juice. So we're gonna add our lime juice, our orange juice. Don't worry if the seeds fall in there, guys, because what we're gonna do is once all this is nice and braised after a few hours, we're gonna actually just fish out the nice big chunks of pork, and we're gonna put them on a pan, and we're gonna crisp them up in the oven right under that broiler. All right. Yeah, it smells good already. I can't believe this. All right. So everything is nice and mixed together. We're actually gonna put the spent orange halves, the squeezed orange halves in here so they can continue to braise. And one other thing you're gonna need is you're gonna put about 2 cups of water in here. And that's gonna turn into, of course, that braising liquid for y'all. Alright, and then we're gonna actually bring this to a simmer, and once it kind of starts simmering, we're gonna go ahead and cover it, put it in the oven. So we're gonna just let this simmer for a little bit here, and then we're going to bring that and cover it, put it right in the oven. Alright. Alright, so as you can see, it is coming to that simmer. So we're just gonna cover her up and we're gonna put her in the oven for you, and then it's gonna cook for a couple hours. This step can also be done in a crock pot on low for 6 to 7 hours, even 8. But because I have the time, it's, you know, a weekend dish, we're just gonna stick it in the oven for a couple hours, and that way it can kind of braise in its own juices. Don't have to worry about getting that crock pot out, but it can be a really good make ahead in the crock pot. So go ahead and cover this up, and then we're gonna put it in the oven. All right, y'all, so it's gonna be in the oven for about 2 hours on that lowest rung rack in your oven, 300, 2 hours. But don't forget, if we're cooking that in the crock pot, forget that step. It's gonna be in the crock pot on low, 6 to 7, 8 hours. We're gonna come back and check it in 2 hours. It's gonna be fork tender, and we'll go from there. Can't wait to see when it's done. Yum. All right, y'all, so it's been a couple hours, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this out of the oven. It is smelling delicious. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna crank this heat up to high, and we're going to fish out, essentially, all of the bits like the onion and the orange segments and the bay leaf. We're gonna get all of that out, and we're gonna start putting the meat onto a sheet pan. All right, y'all, so I have the pan on high because what we're gonna do is we're gonna reduce this cooking liquid. We have a foil lined baking sheet here. I have a bowl just so I can kind of grab the orange out of here, some bigger chunks of the onion, because what we want is we want this braising liquid to reduce while we kind of break up the bigger pieces of meat. So as we're going, I'm sure we'll find some more onion and the bay leaf that's hiding in here. So, oh, there's one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start pulling out the big chunks of meat, and then we're gonna kind of break those into like 2, 3 bite-sized pieces for us. So let's go ahead and do that. This is going to reduce down, and it's gonna get nice and thick, and we're actually gonna be putting that over the pork. I'm gonna switch to a spoon just so it can go a little quicker. Alright, y'all, so this is going to be reducing down. While this reduces down, I'm going to grab a couple of forks, and we're going to go ahead and this kind of chunked up meat, we're just going to make it a little more bite-sized. So we're going to just kind of break it up into 2, maybe 3 if it's a big piece, bite-sized pieces. Alright, so as you can see, we're going to just kind of like not shred it. So we're going to just break it up into kind of smaller bite-sized pieces. Oh, it's kind of just nice and falling apart. So you don't want to shred it. You can if you really want to, but I like my carnitas as kind of chunks. It makes really good tacos, and of course, it's just delicious. So while that is reducing, we're gonna just, like I said, break these down into kind of smaller bite-sized pieces. And if y'all have any of that braising liquid that is kind of reducing down right there, if you have any left over once we top everything, you can save it and kind of re-soak these little pork bits in those pieces. So this is a really good next day meal as well. We like to use ours once we kind of make our tacos the first night. We actually like to do tachos, where we use the carnitas and we use it on top of tater tots. things like that. I'm sure you can put it on top of some fries, make some quesadillas, you know, whatever tickles your fancy. Alright y'all, so as you can see, the pieces have been broken down to smaller, kind of like bite-sized pieces for you. And our braising liquid, has gotten nice and thick, so we're gonna go ahead and turn that off. And we're gonna just spoon this all over our carnitas. So it's gonna have all of that reduced fat and spices that everything got cooked in. And then once we actually go ahead and top all this in, we're gonna coat it all, and then we're gonna pop it under the broiler for about 5 minutes so it can get nice and crispy. Alright y'all, so we're gonna put this right under the broiler in your oven. It's gonna go for about 5 minutes to kind of get nice and crispy. Sorry, Jasmine. Alright y'all, so they have been under the broiler for about 5 minutes. They smell delicious. You can hear them kind of crackling. So let's go ahead and pull them out, and we're gonna go ahead and plate them up, wrap them up with some tortillas. Alright, so as you can see, they're nice and brown, nice and crispy. Let's go ahead and put these in some corn tortillas. Alright y'all, so everything is wrapped up. These are nice and delicious and crispy. So, it's been a few hours later, dark outside, but we're ready to eat. I have mine in some corn tortillas and topped with cilantro and onions, a little bit of avocado salsa, ready to go. Always squeeze some lime on there, of course, but you can always use these for leftovers because there's plenty left. So you can use them for tacos, you can use them for quesadillas. Possibilities are endless, y'all. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and of course, see you again next week.